All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Astro Einstein again. You know what we're doing today. We're focusing on what we left off at. Now we apologize, or I should say I apologize for Tuesday's class. I was off the island. But I'm here today. Why I got on so much chain? Why looking like a rock star? Yeah. It's so good to have whoever's online. It's so good to have you. Thank you for showing up. As you can see, I got a little bit of little razzle dazzle in the back of me. Got a little light going on. Decided on doing a little graphic change. Got a little backdrop here. I brought some lighting. I got some lighting, so little cubbyhole is gonna be looking real good. Well, in my eyesight. So we left off at accidental debilities and dignities. We were giving examples of you guys in your chart how a planet could express itself 100% or 80% or 60% or even 25%, even zero, based upon the sign it's in and the house that it's in. Remember now, planets naturally rule certain houses. So they like being inside certain houses. Planets also rule certain signs. So they like being in certain signs. When you have a planet that is exalted and in a house that is exalted in, then that is operating at 100%. I'm talking about its power is expansive. All right? One of these days, I'm going to give you the scale on how it works, on the percentage of how powerful a planet is and how much it's operating by. That's a little bit of advanced astrology I'm actually giving you, but it's okay. I see one person is in class. Can you at least acknowledge? I'd like to know who it is. Is it a secret person? That's fine, but if it's somebody in the class, just acknowledge. All right, so I'm going to pull up a chart. And we can continue our focus on it. Let's take a look at a chart. Some of you probably know. Let's look at Glennis Hannah Martin. Yes. I have a lot of our MPs, members of parliament, I have a lot of their charts sitting in my data because I've done charts for almost a lot of them. Not all, but the majority of the ones that are very open-minded. Believe it or not, Glennis Hannah Martin is a Scorpio rising. Not only is she a Scorpio rising, but she is also a Scorpio. She is a Scorpio rising. Now, I'm going to use her chart because, remember now, the sun rules the sign of Leo, but it's exalted in the sign of Aries. Aries rules the first house, naturally. So, by the fact that her sun is in Scorpio and in the first house, her sun is accidentally exalted. That means her personality, her natural core of who she is exalted. This would probably be why she would have made it into politics. Because Sun and the Sun in Scorpio is very powerful itself, and sitting in the first house makes it even more powerful. Get where I'm coming from? Okay, good. I see 3 people on. Not only does she has the Sun sitting in the first house, but she also has her Moon exalted as well, sitting in the sign of Taurus. Even though they're opposite each other, it's still operating on the sign of Taurus. Her Moon is in the sign of Taurus, which makes her a bit more security driven. But also remember that Moon is exalted, or it's in its best sign in the sign of Taurus. So she has her Sun sitting in the best house for the Sun, and her Moon sitting in the best sign for the Moon, which is Taurus. So that would, a lot of people, you could literally, if you look at their charts from the beginning, you could say this person is going to be a personality. This person's going to be known. When you look at certain placements, you look at their, the houses it's in, the sign it's in, the aspects, then you're going to realize that, boy, this person is very much destined to be popular. All right, so let's go over what we know already. The Sun rules the sign of Leo, is exalted. Well, first off, it rules the sign of Leo. The sign that is opposite Leo, is Aquarius. So it's in detriment in Aquarius. It's in detriment in Aquarius. It rules the sign of Leo, but it's in detriment in Aquarius. The Sun is exalted in the sign of Leo. I mean in Aries, and the opposite sign of that is, so it's in fall in the sign of Libra. And remember now, the Sun also rules like the father figure, that and the planet Saturn. So the core of the father is represented by the Sun. The seed of who you are is from the father. So when you take a look at Sun sign in sign of Aquarius and Libra, there's a struggle that has to take place within that person. When the Sun is in the sign of Aries and in the sign of Leo, there is a somewhat serious connection to the father. The father may play a very important role in that person's life. The other signs are very neutral, and they go in percentage of how strong and how weak they are, depending on their placements. All right. Hey, Gandhi, you're right on time. Don't mind that. You're right on time. Always. You're always on time, Candy. You're never late. Okay? All right. What did I say? Hold on. Yeah, we were looking at some placements. Exalted debilities and and dignities. I want you, like I said, I want to beat this into you guys' brain so you can see the essence of astrology. Then we're gonna go backwards. And then you're gonna get why it's like how it is. We're looking at Glennis Hannah Martin's chart, Kenny. Um, Maybe by tomorrow, or let me take a look if I could do it from here. Let me go into YouTube, my channel, and let's see if I can go live on this as well. Allow. So give me a second, 1 second. I see. All right. I don't know which one you can see, but I'm trying to see if I could do a screen. You could take a look at the screen, I guess. Is it making sense? Can you see both? You know what? Let me end this one. Is that making sense? Yeah, I can't do the double. I can't do a screen. I thought I could, but hey, I'm gonna have to do my charts right here on this wall while you look at me. So that's the only way I could be able to do it right now. Either that, or I might have to use another way of teaching. But I like YouTube, so and I hope you guys do too. Can I just look at your chart since you're the only one that actually says that I am here? So we're gonna turn to your chart. I don't know if you have your book. I don't know if you have your chart in front of you. But I always say it's best to have your chart ready for you in front of you. We're definitely going to take a look at your accidental placements. Okay? Now, I use an extended version of astrology where I put in my asteroids and my asteroids. I love to use my asteroids so we can get more understanding of your chart. Oh, okay. All right. I understand. But what I'll do is I'll call it out if you don't remember your placements. I will help you to remember them. All right. You have your ascendant is Libra. I guess you know that. You have Pluto. You have Pluto. You have Pluto in your first house. So that people either love you or hate you. There's no in between. There is no in between when it comes to that in you. Okay? You have Saturn in the second house. And Saturn in the second house can have, its adverse effect. Remember now, Saturn is the planet that is the restrictive planet. It's the planet that wants to be responsible and make decisions that are sound, but it also restricts him. It's the father. It knows how to govern. Wait, you love it like that? That people either love you or hate you? The Pluto effect? Yeah, that Pluto does that in the first house. Now, Saturn in the second house, anybody that has Saturn in the second house has issues when it comes to money. They always feel as if they don't have enough money. There is a karma dealing with money. Okay? Whenever there's Saturn in the second house. I'm going to talk to you about your chart. If anybody else was here, they didn't understand. Saturn is not really, Saturn is in the sign of, in the house of natural ruled by Taurus. Taurus and Saturn, they like being inside earthy type. situations, except for in the sign of Virgo. It doesn't like being in Virgo, but it still works with it. Saturn inside your second house could give you the feeling of not ever having enough, counting your pennies. You basically will have to tell yourself almost always that you have enough, that you have more than enough, that your money's in abundance. No one can have enough money. You know, some people don't put a lot of value to money. They don't, even though they have it. So I don't know if that's a true statement for every person on it. But Saturn in the second house inside your chart, we're literally happy to feel that way. It's a devaluing effect. Not devaluing, it values more as you get older. I don't know if I want to bring this camera back a bit more so it could focus. There you go. So it's a light in the back that does that. So, let's say okay for me. So Saturn inside the second house, like I said, it's an effect where as you get older, your finances become more stronger. The fact that it's sitting inside the second house of Scorpio means that as you get older, you will be able to use these means of occult knowledge, wisdom, and all these other things that is ruled by Scorpio to make stable and secure money. It also shows that with Saturn in the sign of Scorpio, that as you get older, you're actually going to acquire a lot more. Nice to have you, Abby. As you get older, you're going to acquire more power. Power comes with age. That's the old understanding of Saturn in the sign of Scorpio. I can tell you this too. Most people have Saturn inside the sign of Scorpio. As they get older, they're the ones that are like the cougars. Their sex drives get stronger as they get older. Yeah, their sex drive gets stronger as they get older. I remember we was talking about what you have accidental and what you have exalted. Believe it or not, like I said before, your Jupiter is exalted in it's in its dignity in the sign of Sagittarius. However, it's sitting in the third house. Jupiter in the third house has an overthinking mind. And they can sometimes go into high anxiety or anxiety attacks without people even knowing it. And yours comes sudden because your Jupiter conjunct Uranus. So that has that effect, even though it's still good because it's sitting in its dignity. It is an accidental. Debilitated. So it's accidental debilitated. Or what we call accidental detrimental. So your Jupiter is running on 50%, basically. It's good in the sign of Sagittarius, or I should say 65. Sorry, but it isn't as good in the third house. So this is where your accidental dignified or accidental debilitated or accidental detrimented. I know it's a lot of terminologies, but I just want you to understand. Sorry. A lot of your placements are pretty okay. I don't see a lot of bad ones. I don't. There aren't many. There aren't all, except for your sun being inside the sign of Aquarius, but it's very good in the fifth house. So I think we went over this before. I think we did look at your chart. Uh, I'm gonna ask you a question, both of you, if you're still there. I mean, when you say passing through, what house is Pluto comfortable in? What house does Pluto naturally rule? If it was sitting inside this house, it'd be operating at 100%. What house am I? If Pluto was sitting in this house, it'd be operating at 100%. It's sitting in its own house. What house am I? That's right. I'm going to ask these very, sometimes tough questions. So, yeah, you need to answer that one. While y'all answering that, I'm going to ask three more. Venus, yes. What house is naturally ruled by Scorpio? Scorpio is the sign. I want to know the house. And you're correct. It is operating 100% in the sign of Scorpio. But what house would it be working at 100%? That's a tough one, but you can get it. All of you guys can get it. The next one is when the sun is sitting in this house, it is operating at 150%. It's in its exalted house. What house is that? When the sun, I'm going to repeat the question. When the sun is sitting in this house, it is operating at 150%, more than 100%. It is actually exalted in this house. What house is this? All right, so yes, Candy. 8 is the house for Scorpio. When Pluto is sitting in the eighth house, it is exalted. It's the best place for Pluto to be when it's sitting there. With the first house, I mean, the house that the sun is sitting in, when it's working at 150%, it is exalted in this house. What house is that? And get you guys to think. See, this is a different kind of astrology y'all gonna learn. Because when people talk to y'all and when y'all see a chart, y'all will be able to dissect it and say, oh, this placement isn't strong. This one is strong. Oh, wow. This person got who? They have Venus in the 12th house. Don't mind the fact that okay. Right. So Candy, Andy asked the question. Can I repeat the question? The question is the sun. I'm gonna say the signs that it is exalted and it's dignified in. It rules Leo. It's dignified or exalted in the sign of Aries. The sun is in detriment in Aquarius, and in fall in Libra. So the question is, what house is the sun exalted? Hey, Deandra. Thanks for tuning in. No, the sun won't be exalted in the third house. But you're around the same quadrant. You're in the same quadrant, so we want to know. Listen to the question now. Remember now, each house is naturally ruled by a sign. Yeah, that's okay. We all did. Man, I did the same thing when I was learning astrology. I did the same thing. I mixed up houses like crazy. Remember now, I'm going to give it to you again. Your chart may be different than the original placements of the signs. Certain signs rule certain houses. Oh, I said Aries? Yes, well, boom. Good, Candy. You got it. The first house. Exactly. See, Aries naturally rules the first house. The sun is exalted in the sign of Aries. So that means that the sun is also exalted in the first house. Even if it's in the sign of Aquarius or Libra, the fact that it's sitting in the first house gives it a lot more power than normal. So this person will be a personality. This one will be a personality. You will feel their presence the minute they walk in the door because they seem as if they just bigger than life. Because that's all the sun wants. It just want to be the center of the universe, right? Center of our galaxy. And that's what being in the first house does. Guys, that was awesome. Awesome job, Gandhi. I'm going to give you the next planet. No, I'm going to stay with the sun, okay? We can use the sun again. The sun is sitting in its worst position, in its detriment position. It does not have a strong personality in this house. What house is that? I'm going to go over again. The sun rules Leo, is the king of that.